Hi, everyone. Today I am going to explain an American drama film called Bad Sister. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. A young high school student named Jason is the film's main character, and he has developed a sizable fan base. He performs his music online. He informs his supporters that he would soon be moving to while filming a video on the internet. St. Adeline's is a brand new Catholic academy in Southern California. He then ends the video by singing a beautiful song. In the next scene, we see an unknown lady, who murders someone, conceals the body in a car trunk and dresses as a nun. Meanwhile, Jason and his sister Zoe arrive at the new school with their parents. Sister Rebecca, the headmistress, welcomes them and informs them of the school's policies. The college. Sarah, Zoe's roommate, is also introduced to them by Sister Rebecca. Due of Jason's charisma and online fame, it appears that Sarah develops a crush on him. Later, Sister Sophia White, a nun from Montana, is welcomed as a new teacher by the principal. The two nuns meet Jason at the school playground while introducing her to the area. Surprisingly, Sister Sophia thinks he's attractive and seems interested in talking to him. The woman is discovered to be the same homicidal woman from previously. Although she appears to have stolen Sophia's identity, her true name is Laura. Later that evening, the mysterious, youthful, and lovely nun unwinds on her bed while enjoying a music video by Jason. She even gives him a surprise kiss on the television. It is clear that she is drawn to the act, which seems disturbingly strange for a nun. The talented musician. Sister Sophia begins her first day at the school the next morning. She notices Jason in the class and looks at him, but she becomes irritated and envious when she sees him and Sarah flirting with each other. So, she shifts Sarah to the first desk, much to her annoyance. Next, Sophia prepares to start her lessons, but right then, Zoe reminds her about the morning prayer they always have before class. Hearing this, Sophia nervously instructs the class to start the prayer, but she is unable to recite a single word herself. After class, Zoe shares her suspicion of the new teacher with Jason, but he brushes her off and walks away. He subsequently runs into Sophia and expresses regret for his earlier inappropriate behavior in class. The nun asks him out of the blue whether he and Sarah are dating, but Jason replies that they are not. Sophia, though, overhears the couple kissing the following day. She sends Jason away out of frustration and begins threatening to suspend Sarah. The latter, however, explains to the nun that because her father is a donor, she is powerless over her. Toward the school, the nun is furious and upset as Sarah then boldly walks away. When Sophia begs Jason to stick behind after class, Zoe finds it quite unusual once more. She has been noticing that the new teacher is pretty interested in her brother. Once they are alone, Sophia confronts Jason about the other day, asking why he lied about his relationship with Sarah. Jason understandably remains mum, but Sophia asks him to meet her in her quarters to further discuss the matter. Since students are not allowed to wander in teachers' quarters, Jason is hesitant, but Sophia threatens to report him to the school board if he doesn't do as asked. Therefore, the young and unaware lad has no other choice but to comply. Later, as Jason is ready to knock on Sophia's door and enter her room, she startles him by to undress for him in her underwear. Jason, who is terrified and perplexed, observes everything through the door's crack. Soon, he leaves because he is uneasy. The students are getting ready to leave for home as the film suddenly switches to the weekend. Sophia is furious and envious as she watches Sarah and Jason embrace in the parking lot. Her conversation is cut short by the headmistress, who discusses some homework. However, Sophia lets her know that because she has a weekend trip planned, she will also be away. Ill aunt, to see her. When Jason returns home, he has a heartfelt reunion with his father. It is made clear that the elderly man disagrees with his desire to pursue music. Actually, he wants his son to develop more of his overachieving sister Zoe's traits. After a contentious fight, Jason forgoes dinner and spends some alone time at the pool. Unbeknownst to him, though, the fixated Sophia has followed him to his residence. She is inexplicably observing him as he plays the guitar by the pool. Sophia breaks into Zoe and Sarah's apartment on Monday night when the students return to school. Room in a dorm. At the same time, Rebecca, the headmistress, spots her and begins to follow her. Sarah's textbook is then where Sophia grows marijuana after breaking into the girls' room, hoping to suspend her and get her out of the way. When Sophia is finished with her plans, the headmistress stops her on her way back to her quarters. Sophia lies when questioned about why she is loitering around the girls' dorm so late. Kept an eye on the security. The headmistress leaves after hearing this, but she is still wary. When Sophia instructs the pupils to open their textbooks to a specific page the following day in class, her cunning plan succeeds. When Sophia swiftly grabs Sarah's book and informs the headmistress of the presence of marijuana, Sarah is startled. Sarah, poor Sarah, is therefore expelled from school. The evil nun is still working on her schemes, though. She requests a dormitory inspection from the school security. As expected, they discover a bottle of alcohol in Jason's room, the same bottle that Sophia had been drinking the previous evening in her automobile. She apparently placed the wine in Jason's room so she could force him to join. Community work will serve as her punishment and serve as a justification for her subsequent seduction. When they discover the booze, Sophia poses as Jason's supporter and begs in front of the principal and the school board not to suspend him. She prefers that he spend the weekend staying and performing volunteer work. The headmistress is first a little hesitant about the concept, but after some consideration, she accepts it. When Sophia seduces Jason while he is unconscious in the next scene, everything goes well for her. Engaging in school garden chores. Despite his initial discomfort, the adolescent cannot handle it as she unbuttons her shirt. He turned away from her. And Sophia eventually succeeds in getting the fetus into his own room at night. She even documents the act on her phone, which is another bonus. The next morning, Jason appears understandably anxious and guilty. He steps outside the dorm to get some fresh air. In the meantime, Zoe enters his room in search of her brother, but she becomes surprised when she catches Sophia sniffing Jason's clothes. When Zoe confronts the obsessed nun, she is told that she will be reported to the school's 614 board for being in the boys' dormitory. Zoe reluctantly walks out and approaches Jason, inquiring as to what's going on. However, he doesn't reveal anything, pretending that everything's fine. Meanwhile, Laura considers Zoe as a threat and devises a strategy to counteract her. After class, she asks Zoe to stay and shows her the results in which she has failed. The latter cannot believe it because she has always been a bright student. Laura pretends to care about Zoe and extends a second chance to her. She asks that Zoe stay after school for the re-exam. After this, she purposefully leaves the answer key on the desk. As instructed, Zoe arrives at class to take her re-exam and notices the answer key on the table. As she looks at it, Laura suddenly enters the classroom and reports her to Sister Rebecca for cheating. However, the headmistress finds it hard to believe as Zoe always tops her class. Later, a bishop visits the school and he is welcomed by the headmistress. During their conversation, he inquires if Sister Sophia is fitting in at the new school. He describes her as a ray of sunshine, which the headmistress finds hard to believe since the Sophia Sheenas is completely different from what the bishop has described. Over the next weekend, Sarah invites Jason to a party at her house and tells him to bring his guitar. During dinner time, Jason asks his parents if he can attend the party, but the conversation ultimately turns into an argument about his future. Regardless, Jason goes to Sarah's party unaware that he is being stalked and followed by Sophia. Once there, Sarah approaches him and takes him to a room. She tries to kiss him, but he is too caught up in his own mess, so he abruptly leaves without any explanation. Jason then grabs a bottle of beer and leaves the party while Sarah follows him behind. However, she is caught off guard when she realizes that her car has been vandalized, which is most likely one of Sophia's works to get back at her. In the next scene, Jason nearly gets into trouble with the cops, but lucky for him, Sophia arrives just at the right moment to settle the matter. After that, Jason tells her that he is too drunk to go home in such a condition, which becomes just the perfect opportunity for Sophia as she takes him to her apartment. She will be doing no fasting, abstaining, or confessing tonight. Once there, the psychotic nun becomes unreasonably delusional and asks Jason to leave the country together, but fortunately he snaps out of his drunken state and flees from the place. The following morning, when Zoe and Jason get ready for school, the former notices a suspicious car driving by their house. She later finds out that the car belongs to none other than Sophia. Later, when Jason returns to his dormitory, he shockingly finds Sophia unconscious on his bed. He also notices a bottle of pills on the table and concludes that she committed the unthinkable. Terrified, he hurriedly conducts CPR on her, hoping to bring her back to consciousness, and this is when the paranoid nun suddenly wakes up and kisses him. She then reveals that she was just faking her death to see if he cared about her. Irritated, Jason threatens to report her to the school board, but she instead gets back at him by revealing that she has a video of them getting it on with each other. This leaves Jason in a state of utter shock. The next day, Sarah returns to school much to Sophia's anger. As she feels threatened, she sneaks into Sarah's room and finds her in the shower. She then bashes Sarah's head into the wall, instantly murdering her but setting the scene to look like an accident. After a while, Zoe finds her roommate dead in the shower and becomes horrified. The following day, she confronts Jason and asks about his relationship with Laura. At first he hesitates, but when the persistent Zoe keeps pressing him, he finally reveals everything, leaving her stunned. Zoe believes that Laura isn't a real nun as she behaves differently. As a result, they decide to sneak into Laura's room to look for evidence. There they find her laptop, which is filled with pictures of Jason, and also learned that her actual name is Laura. Meanwhile, the headmistress learns that Sophia has been lying about her aunt being sick. She angrily confronts her about it and threatens to report it to the father of the school. However, before she can say any more, Sophia knocks her out with a lamp. She helped her to see the light. A while later, the siblings arrive at Sister Rebecca's cabin, but are unable to locate her. Realizing that something bad happened to her, they rush to the church. Soon Laura also arrives there and notices Jason holding her laptop. She insists he accompany her, but Zoe tells her to leave him alone. This angers Laura and she immediately knocks Zoe out. She then proceeds to finish off Jason, but Rebecca arrives at the nick of time and pulls her back. Enraged, the lunatic woman strangles Rebecca, but Jason takes advantage of the distraction and stabs her from behind, finally killing her. The final scene of the movie shows the siblings graduating from high school. Despite all that has happened, they are now looking forward to living their life to the fullest. Again, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.